a right to tell you when you can't be angry. And no one has a right to say you're crazy for being skeptical. Especially when you've just spent 4 years patiently enduring the tantrums of sniveling brats known as the media and Democrats demanding that you take seriously their daily public meltdowns. They invented hysterical rage and sold it by the gallon, remember? And now, after years of resistance, these cretins tell you it's time to move on. But that's like Brian Stelter telling you to work out.
Yeah, the conspiracy theories will rumble around a little bit. People take a deep breath, breathe into the paper sack, and move on. The rest of the world is moving on. The Republican Party, which has essentially become the resistance at this point, has not.
All of you, suck it up. Suck it up like we sucked it up. And if you are not sure that you're comfortable with Joe Biden, do what we did. Find things and then take it to the law. And if the law says it's something to look at it.
Which is what's happening now, Whoopi. But I know looking to the View for logic is like looking to a teenage boy for clean sheets. In fact, the media tried to subvert every institution to unseat a president because they lost. They painted him and anyone who supports him as a Nazi because they lost. And they're still doing it even though they think they won. Check out CNN's Resident Ghoul.
This week, 82 years ago, Kristallnacht happened. It was the Nazis' warning shot across the bow of our human civilization that led to genocide against a whole identity, and in that tower of burning books, it led to an attack on fact, knowledge, history, and truth. After 4 years of a modern-day assault on those same values by Donald Trump, the Biden-Harris team pledges a return to norms.
What a talking garbage can. So, you want to know why we question the election? There's your answer. If you believe that Trump is a Nazi, an existential risk, it must be your imperative to overthrow him, by all means necessary. And make no mistake, we've done so before. We just called it regime change. America has interfered abroad for far less than removing this evil monster named Donald Trump. So why wouldn't democracy take a backseat? It already has. And now you see the media mocking those who see this clearly. But that mockery is part of the plan. If you don't accept this election at face value, you must be nuts. Sorry, it's not the case. We're on to you. You jackasses tried to ruin lives, businesses, and families. Nothing was off limits. Justifying thuggery at restaurants, homes. You acted like an invading army. Remember how much the press hated Trump's deplorables? Well, the feeling is still mutual. And now you whine because we question an election where the discrepancies only go in one direction. Funny, every single abnormality favored Biden. He's the abnormal president. But it's not like they had to hide this stuff. Not when the Democrats knew the media morons would provide cover. After all, they told us who won what way too early, wanting so badly to be first. That's not new. Remember when Dewey defeated Truman? But it's not about getting it right or wrong. It's about the damn process. Who does it benefit to call something as soon as possible? America? The voters? Hell no, just the guy you call it for. It's myopic idiocy. Here you have a brutally contentious election, fraught with emotion, with violence hanging in the air. We've been building up to this event more than the return of the McRib. So you think caution would trump speed? You think with so much crap is in question, from intelligence to polling to science to media, we should slow it down maybe a little, especially when trust is minimal? But no, we gotta call it ASAP, and don't question us, because we're the experts. Yeah, the experts. The guys who worried about a new ice age a few years ago. The chumps who are gonna make your schools better, your kids smarter. Yet they always miss the point, and they never read the room. See, it's about respecting the voters and the process, but that's gone. And now there's this, let's start the healing BS. I don't want to hear it, not from Joe and not from the media drones. You demonized us at every turn, so save your hugs for Oprah. And even as they preach unity, loads of libs still vow to make lists to ensure Trumpers never work again. The goal? Shun until there are none. AOC, Robert Reich, Chris Hayes, Obama staffers, Chris Cuomo, their feeble little arms all trying to light the torches. Now, This is not to say we shouldn't remember idiots. We should remember those, for example, who wanted to defund the police, who then called the cops. Like the Portland City Commissioner, who pushed to cut the police, but then called the cops on her driver because the windows were down.
I paid for a ride, and he canceled it. He says he canceled it. Yeah. So I'm just going to sit here until he sends me another ride.
Which is his obligation as a human being on the face of the earth to cancel a contract like that. It's not a crime.
That should be remembered because it's so hilarious. As hilarious as the Democrat city tyrants who hate the cops but then hire them to protect their houses from the mobs they celebrate. Fact, everyone preaching unity now would have destroyed you for not using the correct pronoun. They're vindictive creeps, and their blacklisting is fueled only by a difference of political opinion, which is what politics was designed to handle, differences in opinion. Now these little fascists want to undo all methods for civility, laying the groundwork for mayhem. You think 70+ million Americans are going to take that? Hell no. If Trump concedes and the mob moves forward, they will create an even bigger, scarier monster. It's called Trump 2024, and it will be merciless. So take your best shot now, because after 4 years of tax-induced recession, bumbling incompetence, economy-killing shutdowns, and identity obsession, you won't stand a chance. You'll set yourself up for the biggest comeuppance in history, a fitting punishment for the loudest, dumbest crybabies on earth. We won't even have to make a list. You'll do it to yourself.